Have you ever felt that someone subtly bends your decisions without even saying a word? It's terrifying when you realize that influence doesn't always announce itself. It hides in silence, in subtle gestures, in the way someone reacts to your thoughts or emotions. Imagine this. You're in a conversation. Everything seems normal, but later you feel like you revealed more than you intended. That feeling, that small twinge of unease, that is the signature of silent psychological influence. Most people think manipulation is loud, aggressive, or obvious, but real influence is quiet, it is invisible. And the most dangerous part? You don't even realize it is happening. Today, I'm going to expose 7 dark psychological strategies people use silently and the ways to defend yourself from them. The first secret is strategic silence. Silence can be more powerful than words. When someone stops talking right after you share something significant, your brain starts to panic. You overthink, you justify, you explain. All the while, the manipulator watches quietly, letting you unravel yourself. They don't need to say a thing. Your own mind does the work. But here's the defense. Embrace silence. Be comfortable with pauses. Don't rush to fill the gaps. If you remain calm, silence no longer controls you. It empowers you. The second secret is emotional mirroring. Have you ever met someone who instantly feels familiar? They laugh at your jokes, agree with your opinions, even mirror your posture. This is not coincidence. Mirroring builds trust at lightning speed because your brain loves familiarity. Once trust is established, subtle influence becomes much easier. The way to spot it is to notice unnatural perfection. Real connection includes small disagreements. Too much similarity too quickly is suspicious. Secret 3, the scarcity illusion. This is the last time I'll offer this. You won't get another chance like this. Scarcity triggers urgency. When something seems rare, your brain assigns it more value. Manipulators create false scarcity, making you act without thinking. The antidote: slow down. Any decision made under pressure deserves scrutiny. Real opportunities survive patience. Fake ones depend on urgency. Secret 4, guilt framing. Instead of asking, they imply. They say, "After all I've done," or "I guess I'm not important to you." Subtle guilt pushes you to act without a direct demand. Protect yourself by asking, "Am I acting because I want to or because I feel guilty?" Emotional debt should never control your choices. Secret 5, gradual boundary testing. No one begins by asking for a big favor. It starts small, a tiny compromise, a minor adjustment. Every time you agree, you unconsciously condition yourself to accept bigger requests. Step by step, your boundaries shrink. To resist, set limits early. If something feels uncomfortable at a small level, it will only feel worse when the stakes rise. Say no when it's easy, so it's easier when it's hard. Secret 6, controlled validation. Some people use praise like a reward system. Today they shower you with approval, tomorrow they withdraw it. You start chasing their recognition, trying to earn it back. The unpredictability creates dependency, and suddenly you need them more than they need you. The antidote: build internal validation. When your self-worth comes from within, you are immune to these manipulative patterns. Praise becomes optional, not required. Secret 7, information harvesting under the guise of casual curiosity. They ask harmless questions about your fears, your experiences, your insecurities. You think it's bonding, but later those vulnerabilities are used to influence or control you subtly. Protect yourself by pacing what you share. Trust is earned over time, not revealed in an instant. These 7 secrets work not because people are inherently evil, they work because they exploit universal human tendencies: the fear of rejection, desire for approval, discomfort with silence, need for validation, and the compulsion to stay consistent. Awareness is your shield. Emotional discipline is your sword. Once you understand how influence works, it can no longer bend you without your consent. But there is a hidden 8th layer, a psychological trick so common that almost everyone encounters it unknowingly. It's pattern disruption. Humans are creatures of habit. We operate on predictable routines, predictable thinking, and predictable emotional responses. Some manipulators subtly disrupt these patterns, introducing slight unpredictability in words, behavior, or reactions. They confuse your expectations just enough to make you doubt your judgment. A small disruption makes your mind seek answers, solutions, reassurance, and while your mind is busy, influence slips in. To defend yourself, trust your instincts. If something feels off, pause and analyze. Your intuition exists to detect irregularities. Don't ignore it. Now imagine this applied in everyday life. A friend who suddenly pressures you to share secrets because you trust them. A colleague who alternates between praise and coldness. A partner who makes you act under urgency by implying scarcity or guilt. You might think these are isolated incidents, but in reality they follow patterns. Recognizing patterns is the first step toward regaining control. Another subtle tactic is anchoring emotions. Manipulators link certain emotions with their actions, happiness with compliance, shame with refusal, fear with urgency. Over time, you unconsciously associate them with emotional triggers. To break free, observe your feelings. Ask, am I reacting to them or am I choosing my reaction? Emotional self-awareness is the ultimate defense. Then there's the illusion of free choice. The manipulator frames options so cleverly that all choices lead toward their desired outcome. You feel in control, but your path has been subtly directed. Awareness destroys this illusion. Pause before choosing. Ask yourself, is this truly my decision or is it guided? The next level is slow escalation of commitment. Tiny requests, small favors, little concessions. Over time, they accumulate into major compliance. Manipulators exploit our desire for consistency. The protection is to evaluate each request individually, not through the lens of past actions. Consistency is a virtue, but blind consistency is a trap. Another psychological layer is social proof manipulation. You might be influenced simply because everyone else is doing it. Seeing approval, likes, or consensus triggers conformity in your brain. Awareness is critical. Just because many people do something doesn't make it right or unavoidable. Pause, reflect, decide for yourself. And then comes fear-based suggestion. Not blatant threats, but subtle hints. It would be dangerous to go against this, or people might think badly of you if you don't comply. Fear clouds judgment. Calm analysis clears it. Your mind is your armor. The final layer, the one most people miss, is the slow erosion of confidence. Subtle criticism, microaggressions, doubts planted over time, little jokes that sting more than they amuse. They chip away at your self-esteem, making you easier to influence. This is why self-confidence is your most powerful shield. Build it, protect it, guard your boundaries. Now put it all together: silence, mirroring, scarcity, guilt, boundary testing, validation, casual questioning, pattern disruption, emotional anchoring, guided choices, escalation, social proof, fear, and confidence erosion. All these are tools, neutral in themselves, but dangerous in the wrong hands. The key takeaway is not to fear people, but to understand human psychology, to recognize influence patterns, and to respond intentionally, not reactively. The strongest people in any room are not the loudest or the most aggressive. They are aware, self-controlled, and deliberate. They can navigate influence without being controlled. They can detect manipulation before it happens. They can protect their mind, their emotions, and their choices. Because once you understand how silent influence works, it loses its power over you. Awareness transforms vulnerability into strength. Knowledge transforms fear into confidence. And in the end, the real secret of dark psychology is simple. It only controls those who are unaware.